Yokohama.
The biggest race of 2022 is here as we get set fully for trying this Grand Prix in Malaysia. And look at Bagnaia. He's up to second. Back at Bagnaia, up into second place. Fabio Quartararo clinging on to that third place. How close was that?
To all my fans, this year is our year. Come down to Sepang this November. It's time for Malaysian GP. Malaysia. 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 Jom ke Sepang, kasih gegar.
Yokohama.
It is hot down here in the pit lanes. It's definitely going to be hotter out there on the track. Ladies and gents, we are back. Welcome back at the Malaysia Championship Series down here.
And the Malaysia Championship Series 2021 season is a go. You can hear those engines screaming their way. Driver all, there's some contact at turn 15. We said there might be some action at turn 15. Wow, that's a double overtake. This is some huge stuff to kick off.
Yokohama.
A glorious morning to everyone out there, wherever it is that you are. Welcome to the Sepang International Circuit for the Malaysia Championship Series Round 3, Race 2, as mentioned on this glorious sunny Sunday morning. Yes, it is sunny, folks. Thank goodness we are getting such great weather finally here at the Sepang International Circuit to witness Race 2 of Round 3 here at MCS 2023. A lot has happened. A lot actually has happened yesterday due to the fact that it was a wet race and it was a bit of a challenge for a lot of our drivers. They had to pull in the stops. They had to maneuver their vehicles to the most optimum manner that they possibly can. And it is definitely a delight as what you saw. We've seen the winners on the podium yesterday. A lot of familiar faces that we have seen, but the question is whether we'll see a couple of new winners as well for this round. But before we get into the race, I do want to have a chat with one of the marshals that we have down here. A lot of people, they may don't know what their functions are. So let me just introduce to you. Dek, nama apa, Dek?
Muhammad Nazrin.
Muhammad Nazrin. Nazrin dah jadi marshal ni dah berapa lama dah, Nazrin?
Sejak tahun 2013.
2013. Okey, apa yang menariknya sebenarnya jadi marshal dekat Sepang Circuit ni?
Sebab ni minat-minat. Kita minat untuk jadi event macam ni kan, event pemotoran kan.
Okey. Jadi selain daripada MCS, memang adik minat dunia pemotoran ke macam mana?
Betul, memang saya minat.
Okey, dan tanggungjawab adik sebagai marshal, apakah tugas adik dekat track, dekat grid ni sekarang ni sebenarnya?
Tugas saya untuk jaga pit dengan kita jaga nombor ni lah. Nombor apa ni? Kedudukan untuk kereta. Okey. Apa lagi?
Tapi dari aspek keselamatan, dari aspek yalah keseragaman kenderaan-kenderaan yang akan berlumba pada hari ini lah secara amnya, betul?
Ya, betul. Betul.
Okey, apa-apa pun saya ucapkan selamat berjaya dan buat yang terbaik ya. Okey. Yeah, guys, that's actually one of the marshals that is on the grid here at the Sepang International Circuit for MCS 2023. A lot more will be happening, I can guarantee you. A special note actually for all you guys who still don't know, you can go and drop by our website, thesepangcircuit.com, for you to get tickets for the Petronas Grand Prix of Malaysia 2023, the MotoGP, which will be happening early November. Tickets is still available, special 10% discount for all of you MyCard holders out there. So a lot of anticipation, a lot of excitements that we are waiting to happen today. And two of the blokes who are going to be commentating on this race, who have vast knowledge about the race here today, I would like to introduce to you Nicholas and as well as my shiny brother, Jeev.
Shiny brother. That's great. Thank you, Mio. Good morning to you. Good morning to everyone watching from anywhere around Asia and, of course, Malaysia, to the official Sepang International Circuit live stream. As you can see, and as Mio confirmed, it is a very, very sunny morning this morning. Nicholas Anil, sports journalist, joining me in the commentary box for this round 3 race 2. Nick, what a race it was. As we look at, strangely enough, I was actually on that plane a couple of days, exact Turkish Airlines as well. We are very close to the airport, but Nick, how was that race one for you?
It was a magnificent race, absolutely dominated by Jonathan Z. But I foresee another intense competition unfolding before our eyes, and especially against this beautiful sunny backdrop. This is what we've all been anticipating, right? Clear skies, which sets precedent for a magnificent race ahead, Jeev.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's the perfect sky there. We were talking about the different types of sky color that you can get up at Sepang. This is the best one you can get. Crack of dawn, just past 9 o'clock in the morning, so it's an early start for all the drivers and the teams as well. But what an event, because this is round 3, which means 4 rounds in the season. The next round and the final round, of course, will be in September 22nd to 24th weekend. Mark that down in your calendars. And what it means is that the front runners in the 4 classes of racing, touring, production, MTC, which is the Malaysia Touring Car Championship, SB1, Stock Production 1, and Stock Production 2, it all comes down to this second half of the season. Now, we've had race 1 yesterday, and that provided its own winners, as you well know, and I said we can actually go through those right now. Jonathan Z was the big winner in touring production. Of course, coming through after a very difficult race for him, because it wasn't all easy driving. It was half dry, half wet for half of the circuit, which was a problem. But in touring production, it was Johnny Z, followed by Shazul Hisham and Ayub Azli. Before I get to the rest of that, don't forget, of course, the Petronas Grand Prix of Malaysia 2023, the 24th edition of it, happening on the 10th to 12th of November. You can get your tickets at www.sepangcircuit.com. Getting back to those standings, Shazul Hisham and Ayub Azli as well. Oh, sorry, yes, there is one other thing I should remind you of, and that is the open track day. If you want to get your car up on this FIA Grade 1 circuit, then you can just book online now at www.sepangcircuit.com. Now, I can tell you about those classifications from yesterday. Shazul Hisham, Ayub Azli, the other 2 in the top 3 for touring production. Mitchell Chan, Hayden Heikel continuing their battle in MTC. Mitchell winning yesterday. And it was Lee Wai Chong and the Nakib and Nabil Aslan, the Aslan brothers, in 4th in MTC. SP2G, because SP2 is split up into G and V. It was Adam Mikhail, Timothy Yeo, and Eddie Liu in SP2G, and it was Alex Young, Takashi Oi, and Mohamed Najib, Axel Sports, R-Works Rios, and Estrada Motorsport winning out in the end for SP2V. So cars coming out now, Nick, onto the pit lane. Very dry conditions. We had a 2:33.595, I think it was, as fastest lap yesterday, and I'm expecting that to get just very fast today because of the dry conditions.
Yeah, I think we definitely see faster lap timings, because if we go back to yesterday's race, right after the, I think it was the second lap that it was full course yellow, so the driver's momentum was slightly halted, and it took some time for them to get back to proceedings, even to change their tires as well. So from 233, perhaps what we expect is 228 and below. Could we see something like that?
With this weather today, because it's kind of a bit cooler this morning, of course, on the track. And you do need to have two things. You need to have dry weather, and you need to have a hot track condition, keep the tires heated. I'm looking at a 227, maybe a 226, because Johnny Z is really going to be pushing it. So the various people that make up the Malaysia Championship Series community are making their way down to the grid area. Quick run out before they come round the 15 corners to set up on the grid. That's the car everyone's going to be watching today, the number 44 R Engineering Honda Civic FD2R, because that's the car, of course, of Tawhid Anwar, which was out in the gravel on lap 1 yesterday. In fact, lap half, as we said, because he never actually made that first corner. So he's going to be looking for a much better performance today.
Yeah. What do you think, Jim? Do you think we'd see a new winner today? Because in the past 3 races, we've witnessed different champions. We've seen Avik Anwar win, and then the last one was Ayub Azli, Kifli Othman, and yesterday, obviously, Jonathan Z. Could we see someone new come into contention today?
I don't know. From that, Umar Abdullah maybe in touring production coming through, maybe. But I'm actually betting, if I could, of course, I'm counting on, that's the better word, Johnny Z to come through the double. It's always good to pick up 30 points from a weekend. 15 points for the win, 12 points for second, 10 for third, 8 for fourth, and then it drops down to 1 point after that. So if he comes through, then that's going to really set up a grandstand finale in September for the 22nd and 24th weekend.
Yeah, I think Johnny Z is definitely coming into this race with so much of confidence. We obviously saw him dominate the race after the full course yellow yesterday, and he finished with a considerably healthy lead over his closest rival. So it's all about using that momentum, using that confidence, and using that consistency to come into this race. And rest assured, a lot of attention will be paid to Johnny Z's machine as he gets on track and gets ready to rock and roll.
Well, what you said was true about the full course yellow yesterday. That really did change things up, and as it does. And it might do again today. The format for this race is going to be roughly 20 laps based on the power of these cars. Now coming out of the pits, it's SP1 and SP2. Big grid again, it's 51 cars yesterday, which means it will be a staggered start. The touring production MTC will go off first, and then about 30 seconds later, the SP1 cars, just as they're coming out of the pit lane now, will come through. But yes, there will be one pit stop in the hour, and that's between 25 minutes and 40 minutes, and everybody's got to come in for a specific pit time, which is 3 minutes, unless, of course, you were the winner and in the top 3 from the previous race, in which case it is, as you know, slightly extended. It's actually 3:15, 3:12, and 3:08. That was a new regulation that came in a couple of years back. And in addition to the success ballast that the top 3 in each of the 4 categories will have to carry, they will also have to stay in the pit lane for that little bit longer. It's a balance of performance measure, and it's meant to keep it as level a playing field as it can be.
Yeah, exactly. And that is in lieu with Article 13.2 of this Malaysia Championship Series. So the champion of yesterday has to serve a 3.15 second pit stop, followed by second place.
And yeah, that's very true. Just having a look at the circuit right now, the 15 corners, 5.543 kilometers circuit length. It's the full north and south combined circuits. And well, I said this is, it's been raced by some of the greatest races around the world in every class. But carry on, you were telling us about the timings.
Yep, so the champion of yesterday serves a 3.15 second pit stop, followed by the second place, who serves a 3.12 second, and followed by third place, who serves by 3.08.
So now we can get down to the grid because, as you can see, it's not just normal average people on that grid. There's also one person on that grid, Mio, that is talking to the drivers, and he should be talking to someone from Empire M Racing.
All right, guys, I'm here now on the grid with car number 34, Shah Rizal, who's driving the only Continental car on the track today. He's even left-hand drive, guys. Rizal, how are you, man?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
All right, so how did you feel being on the podium second, coming into your class yesterday? How does that feel? How does that make you feel?
Wow, this is very fantastic, man. This is hard time for us. I mean, from round 1, round 2, then this round 3, then we made it to in the podium on the race 1.
All right. No, but I have to ask you, the fact that this is the only Continental car on the track, why Renault? Why was the direction in this way?
Okay, because in Europe, I mean, they coming in, I mean, the new generation car, compared to like previous, like now or before this is more on JDM or Hondas. So now we try to bring in, I mean, the new Conti, I mean, the new race series in the MCS.
Okay, and the fact that it is competitive. You shown us yesterday that you could actually come in second place, but that's not the place that you want, right? You want the top spot, right?
It is. So we are in the top, but yes, we need more time to prepare and do some R&D. Because I mean, it's totally different character from Europe bringing here. So the temperature, the weather is totally different for this car.
Of course. So whatever it is, good luck to you, man. Hope to see you on the podium. Shah Rizal, back to you guys.
Well, that is a very, very interesting insight indeed, to have a different type of car, left-hand drive car, up at the circuit as well. And also, I'm very happy for Empire M Racing because, as I told you yesterday, they've never really had a proper run out at the championship. They've had a lot of reliability problems, had a lot of DNFs. You know, most of these times you'd see someone in the gravel and it would be an Empire M Racing car, whether it was in touring production or not. So to finish second yesterday with a shout at finishing first today, that could be very interesting for them. I'm just going to have a look at his best lap yesterday, and it was a 2:34. That's actually really good.
Yeah,
considering
that's really good, actually.
For that half dry, half wet track that we had yesterday, which is not what we've got today at all. So we're at the 10-minute board now, and it certainly looks that way, and all of these people and team members are going to be busying around their cars for the next 10 minutes. And we now get a chance to actually talk to one of the most reliable drivers at MCS, also had a very, very good run yesterday. Number 55 car, Ken Urata, talking to Mio.
All right, now I'm together with the owner, or should I say the driver of car number 55, Ken Urata. Came in first yesterday, SV1. Congratulations once again, Ken.
Thank you very much.
All right, so today is definitely a different weather. Yesterday was a dry race, but today it is hot, it is dry. Is it a perfect condition for you, you think?
Yeah, it's going to be the hot weather. Yeah, many talented driver there. Maybe difficult to win again today, but keep pushing to the limit. Yeah, do all the best we can.
Okay, and the fact that this is not your first MCS, you've been racing for quite a while, and it has been such a good experience for you racing in Sepang, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm age so old, but
you're very good.
Yeah. So wrong. My racing life is wrong. I expected a good result today.
All right, okay, but can we expect for Ken and your partner to still be on the first place podium today, you think?
Never know.
Okay, whatever it is, good luck to you, Ken. Have a great race. Thank you. All right, guys, back to you.
Thanks a lot, Mio. He's always going to be the last samurai for me.
He doesn't give away much, does he?
He doesn't give away much.
Ken Urata, on and off the track.
On and off the track, he doesn't give away much at all. Very good attacking and defensive driver. Very happy that he picked up that top spot and second overall yesterday. And maybe, as I said, so that's 12 points for him in his account as well. It is very close in the championship, and it is right now set up as if it's going to be a pretty good run out for the finale. But as we all know, it's not really a finale in September because they're all, great friends on track, all of these drivers anyway, and they're probably going to be taking up and continuing their rivalry into S1K.
S1K, and that's a whole different beast altogether, right?
It is absolutely
over
different.
181 laps, and I think it all leads to that. It's like this is the race that leads to that over an endurance battle.
So, getting back down on the grid now, Mio should have just jumped over to MTC where we can talk to a man that's going to be looking for a big win today over Mitchell Chia, Hayden Heichel.
All right, car number 39 who came in second at the MTC category yesterday, Hayden Heichel. Bro, how are you?
I'm chilling, it's a bit too early in the morning for me. So, yeah, we'll
Please
see
tell
how-
me you're up, right? You're up, right? You're ready,
I'm up.
right?
Yeah, don't worry, I'm up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I do want to ask you, I mean, there have been rumors saying that there's a bit of a rivalry between you and Mitchell Chia. How do you respond to that?
Me and Mitchell have been going at it since the start of when I first started MCS. So, yeah, he's always been there, always been, either in front of me or right behind me. So, yeah, we'll see how today goes. I mean, he had his fun yesterday, so hopefully we'll have our fun today.
All right, so define fun. What is fun for you then? Beating him or making it as competitive as possible? What do you think?
Both. So, yesterday he was saying he was looking at me at his rear view. So, I don't want to see him at my rear view. I'll probably see him a bit further back. I cross the line, and then
Okay.
he's still
Of
at
course.
15.
All right, so we'll see the reaction from Mitchell later on. I will ask him the same question as well. So whatever it is, good luck to you, Hayden. So have a great race.
All right, thank you.
All right, cheers, man. Guys, back to you.
Well, that's just confirmed. That's what body language is all about in terms of confirming rivalry. They have had a great rivalry. There was only 6 points between them in the championship heading into this weekend. Hayden is, of course, picked up 12 yesterday. Mitchell picked up 15, so you can cut that down to 3 points as we get into this round 3, race 2. Everything to fight for.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want to see from an interview, actually. That spirit, I want to see him at the back of my rear. He had his fun yesterday. I want to have my fun today.
Who wants to
We
know
don't
about
want
cars?
safe interviews.
Yeah,
We want this
yes,
friendly
right.
rivalry competition.
Nobody wants to know about the car. Nobody wants to know about how the track's going. They want to know exactly who you want to beat today and who you don't want to beat today, because that's the essence of
exactly.
sport.
As friendly as they are off track, On
They
track,
are.
it's all business.
These guys, as I said, they race each other around Sepang every year, all year. I've been here for 8 years now, and they've grown. Of course, Hayden is still only about 17 years old, so he's grown into this community. Mitchell Chia is slightly older, but then you've got the Keefleys and people like that have been around for ages, and that's no disrespect to him at all. And there's a transference of knowledge as it goes around, and it's not necessarily linked to the specialized driving programs that you have up at the Sepang International Circuit, like the ZK Racing Team and other youth development programs, which of course Hayden is part of. He takes part in Toyota Gazoo Racing. He takes part in some of these other, things. But for MCS, he's up against the big boys, and he loves it. A very fast driver as well. That's a great
I
shot.
remember in round 2, it was during a wet race where he just absolutely powered his way through to finish second, if I'm not mistaken. It was such a seamless and very daring race, I might add. You can see where that comes from. He's young, he's willing to take risks, but it always seems to be like a risk that eventually pays off.
Well, and we do have a couple of minutes here before we get underway with the race. Looking at this championship, I think that the likes of Nakib Aslan, for example, Putra Adam, that's another one who's 17 years old, Hayden Heichel, who knows where these guys are going to be when they're 23, 25, and that's in about 5 years. But whatever race that they're racing in, and if they follow Mitchell's path and they start going to reach, because Mitchell Chia is not just an MCS driver, he's a regional touring car champion, so he's been to a lot of championships up in Asia and Germany, and in fact Europe as well, where he's performed and he's come back. So who knows what successes they're going to get onto, but they're going to remember MCS for what it gave to them when they were 16, 17 years old, to give this level of racing, because it's not easy just to get in a racing car. It's not easy to not just learn how to drive on this track in this car, but also to be part of the bigger team, to learn team dynamics, to learn, before you start getting signed off to any big teams or whatever, this is going to be your bread and butter in terms of knowledge. And I think it's a wonderful thing for sport to have the Sepang International Circuit having such an access. You said it yesterday. Singapore hasn't got a circuit. Hong Kong hasn't got a circuit. Thailand does have circuits. Are they grade 1? I've been to Buriram, I've been to a lot of the other ones. They're wonderful circuits. This circuit has absolutely everything in the 15 corners that it gives. And these guys just love getting round it again and again and again. What great weather. The grid is clearing. I think we should be down to, well, based on my vast experience, as Mio said, I'd say that's the 3-minute board. And that is a car that is also going to be looking to perform a little bit better. Remember, started really well yesterday. This car plus Johnny Z's number 17 Scuba car were the ones at the front of the pack during the full course yellow that turned up on lap 1. That was there because I was right. It is the 3-minute board.
Indeed. But going back to Ayub Azli and Kifli Othman, after the full course yellow, they came back but sort of faded off after that. Like they were losing a bit of time on Johnny Z.
There were two mistakes. One, Johnny Z jumped into the front immediately after the full course yellow was released. He then didn't defend Ayub coming through.
Yeah.
But then, yes, it looked like that number 50 City car that was so dominant for those first opening rounds was losing some kind of power somewhere because it was lapping about 1, maybe 2 seconds slower. And that was at the good part of the race.
Yeah, indeed. It was like two different halves of racing. One before the full course yellow, and then after that, like you mentioned, they were losing time, and it's probably something to do with the performance of the car. Let's hope that they fixed it out. And
well, one of those that car is also going to be running a bit of a success balance. Great shot of the safety car there. It's going to be leading off the formation lap and sporting the colors and livery of one of our official partners, Yokohama. They produce these wonderful tires, the Advan tires that the MCS cars are running on. And of course, a big shout to all the other sponsors as well, BHP, KBS, MAM. It's not just one person that puts these things on, believe it or not. As you can see at the side of your screen, there are hundreds and hundreds of people that are involved with any type of race. And so to have an MCS weekend, which is not just the MCS, it's got TSS, it's got all these other support with the Caterham, Asia Challenge as well. It is wonderful to get this stuff up and running. And you heard from Hayden, it's early in the morning. You can't get away from that fact.
Because there's a full schedule ahead, right?
Yeah, we started off about 11 o'clock local time yesterday. But to be up at the circuit, and we're about 2 minutes away now from starting, it is wonderful to have the Malaysia Championship Series in action. 1-minute board up. All essential personnel are now gone. It's just the drivers and their cars. And look at that grid. Another huge grid in a record-breaking year for the Malaysia Championship Series. 54 cars, you said, when round 1,
yeah, indeed.
right?
In round 2, there were a record 54 cars. That was the highest ever since the start of the Malaysian Championship Series. And yesterday, it was not too far from that number. It was 51.
Yeah, 51. So that's going to be the starting list today as well. And the other thing that we have to really point out about yesterday's race was it was actually pretty well behaved when it comes down to it. There were some stop-and-go penalties, which were really no accident of the drivers because it was about overtaking on a full-course yellow. I think they were caught out. There was about 6,
yeah, because you
7
were so
drivers
early in the race, right? So I think
so
it was
difficult.
just
so
they really couldn't wait to get ahead.
So they're off onto the formation lap. This could last, well, technically speaking, it can last forever. You've got race control that they have the power to extend this if they wanted to, if the cars are not in the right formation. Looking at the starting grid, Johnny Z is up front on pole again for Scuba Racing Team. Shazul Hisham in second. This is, of course, based on the finishing of race 1. Ayub Azli in third, Imran Rafi in fourth, Tawid Anwar in fifth, and Umar Abdullah in sixth. That's touring production, pretty much.
And we have the SP1 champion Kanu Rata in 7th, followed by Jasmine Tan. Peter Sau, Jason Chiao, Hishamuddin and Lim Jin Guan make up the top 12.
Chun Tak Ho in 13, Azmi Omar in 14 for Marble Racing. Mitchell Chow starts off the MTC category in 15th. Hayden Heichel right next to him. As we know, they cannot be separated. Lee Wai Chung and the Aslan brothers after that.
Keeping with the MTC, we have Leon Koo in 19th place, followed by Goh Lee Heng, Chin Hua Lip, Tay Sin Divira, Hugh Ko Sen, and in SPGs, Adam Mikhail.
So Timmy, Yo, Eddie Liu, Wang Yu Chong, Ng Chong Ching, Lester Neo, and Ian Wong take us up to 30.
Followed by Lau Ken Jun, Yip Kan Heng, Alex Yong is in 33rd, followed by Takashi Ui, Muhammad Najib Ismail, and Leong Jia Le Kent.
Kent Leong also in SP2G and getting into the SP2Vs. Sochi Chong, Ronnie Rossman, Stuart Hine, Alan Tia, Nico Civelli, and Trey Tan Ui Lun, 42.
43, we have Lim Yao Huang, Nick Z, Ling Guang Yu, Muhammad Hasif, Aiman Hazik, and in 48, Ong Wai Kong.
Wow, you really got to set yourself up for these big grids. 49, Jason Hu. 50, Shafiq Shamsuddin. And right at the back of the grid, it's Kenneth Tay and Danny Chang. So with that huge grid out on track now, cars absolutely sparkling as they come through turn 9. Staggered start, as I said, and that's still, even by doing that, because you can imagine what it's going to be like if you had 51 cars all trying to hit the first corner together, especially with corners 1 and 2 having that vicious switchback. In the top left hand of the screen, you can see that the race clock has started. It's 1 hour plus leader, and with these cars lapping at roughly 2:29, as I said, that's about 20 laps. In these conditions, I'm expecting 20, possibly 21 laps.
We're going to see a different race today.
Very different.
It's going to be completely different because it's not starting off as a wet race, you know, unless there's some oil spill or debris, then we move on to a full course yellow. But if all the drivers get, you know, into position and they start off good, we're going to have a very, very competitive and heated start to the race.
Well, talking about getting in position, that doesn't actually look right. That's why race control can call another formation lap. What you're supposed to have is 2 completely straight lines behind the safety car, and that just looks a little bit wobbly. They're pulling it together a bit now, but very important to have that as they come around to turn 15. Okay, now they're looking a bit better. And SP1 and SP2 still forming up a little bit behind. It is tough with such a big grid to get it right, but they're going to make sure they do. If not, they're going to have to go around again. No extra formation lap has been called so far, so we should be good to turn green. Bright sunny day, bright sunny morning. And the lights go green for round 3, race 2. So, Touring Production MTC closing in. So, Tawad Anwar is going to be looking for a turn. His car's turned. That's an immediate improvement from yesterday. He's done it. He's made corner. He's made turn 1 and turn 2. Our engineering going to be happy with that. That was a very strange retirement for him yesterday.
There was a very smooth turn from all vehicles.
Yeah, I noticed Johnny C on the inside didn't really quite get the line he wanted. I think he's stuck in 3rd. We'll get back to that in a second because it's SP1 and SP2 that have now gone green. So Adam Mikhail, Yip Kan Heng, everyone hopefully is going to get around these 2 opening corners without incident. That's a great start. Wow, you don't say that very often.
Yeah, exactly. Not on evidence in the last 2 races, but this time it's been really smooth from all drivers.
Well, that was one of the reasons that that we did get such an early full course yellow yesterday. So it's actually Ayu Bazli that's taken the lead. Johnny Z is up into second. Tao Danwa in third. So already the top three looking like they're setting themselves up here.
Yeah, this was how it started yesterday as well, right? Ayub Azli in front and Johnny Z trailing very closely behind.
But now you've got that added impetus of having Tao Danwa in there as well.
Yep.
That's Mitchell Chia. Oh, interestingly enough, that looks like another scuba car behind him there. That's the top three. And immediately Ayu Bazli and Johnny Z have started pulling away. That looks like Umar Abdullah in the light blue car just behind Tao Danwa. Now let's see what our opening salvo in terms of lap times are off lap 1 as they come round. Well, that safety car shouldn't be there.
Yeah. Stationary. It's finally moving.
No. Well, interestingly enough, we're on a full course yellow.
Deja vu.
Well, I didn't see, there's an incident at turn 3. That's what it is. We haven't actually caught that on our cameras yet, but someone, somewhere, has come off on turn 3. Or maybe there was a bit of bump. We've already started with a 228. And that's from Ayu Bazli. And that's how much faster the track is. That's a full 6 seconds faster.
Yeah,
but there
exactly.
is a full course yellow off the start. Again, incident at turn 3. So not 100% clean off the start, but it does look like, there you go. Absolutely down to 80 kilometers an hour now.
This was what we saw yesterday as well, right? Is this the new trend now?
That might have been it. That might have been the incident.
Yeah.
They might have just bumped it to the back and actually opened the boot. So I'm assuming that that car is the culprit. That's Ling Guang Yu from the Bay Racing team. Coming into the pits as expected. Looks like there's a little bit of contact there off the back right wheel. Well, this is very much like yesterday. Hopefully it's not an oil spill, but which is what was the actual cause for it yesterday. But once again, within the first lap, the Malaysia Championship Series just hobbled a little. Only 2 cars managed to put in a sub 230 lap.
Yeah, I think we'll have a more clear indication of.
Well, I don't think we're going to see turn 3 off this replay. These are just replays of the start. And as I said, we were really happy with the way that SP1 and SP2 got away. But obviously, they must have bunched up. Well, it's this combination of corners here. So that was great. That's
This
turn
was
1.
cleared.
Yep, turn 2 is where things can bunch up because people have to brake for the switchback. And it looks like someone
Over
got
there,
clipped.
yeah, somewhere there. They're making this turn, right?
Right
yeah.
there, yeah, may have been right there. So we're going to see, and of course this is all about keeping it as safe as possible for the drivers. Right now, the safety car is out just to make sure that there wasn't any debris. There was a bit of contact, so there could be some on that corner, and you don't want that debris to get stuck under a wheel, or of course leaving in the oil as they did at turn 6 yesterday. So, another chance in the sun this time for the drivers to drive around and admire the architecture of the circuit. And that's the car. That looks like number 42. Oh wow, there's actually 5 cars I can think of that look to be in trouble there. Oh, so it's going to be, we've just heard it's going to be a short FCY, so I think they didn't find any troubles. And the safety car should be out for just 1 more lap. But I'm just trying to get a read on that car. I think that's Hein and Lederer from Axel Sports. I think it's the 242 that's out. was a white car, could be. And consternation and concern from all the team members, just making sure that everybody is all right. Did look like a minor shunt, if not just a retirement.
Yeah, it didn't look like anything serious. But again, right, it's all about safety at the Malaysian Championship Series. You know, nothing is taken for granted. As soon as there's even a minor incident, safety car is out, making sure everything is clear, the track is clear, and all riders are safe before, you know, we go again.
Especially with a grid this big, you have to take those precautions. But it's not going to be as long as 4 laps yesterday. It's going to be 2 laps today. So you should still have 18 laps of racing, but there is Alex Young now. So that means that it's actually Daniel Uy in the car. Winners yesterday in SP2V. And if I'm right, they had a pretty good run out as well. Lapping about 2:46 yesterday, but that was with the slightly wetter conditions. Well, Ayub Azli would have thought for a second that he had, hey, how you doing? That he had the greatest start over Johnny Z, who was on pole, remember?
He's already done a 228.
That's what got him, yeah, that's what got him, 228. That's what got him up front. So now when we come off this safety car, it's going to be interesting to see what Tawid Anwar does, because he was dropping back and it was going to be Johnny and it was going to be Ayub up front. If Tawid Anwar can nick in off the first few corners, then this full course yellow would have worked for him. Again, still waiting to see what the strategies are going to be for the pit window. That's now going to be open in 13 minutes. And that's unchanged regardless of full course yellows. That's how you play it. That is Lai Wee Singh in the green shirt. He's the owner of our engineering. Yep. You can wave. Definitely heard me. But he's not only one of the drivers, of course, now sets up multiple cars in multiple championships. And pound for pound, statistically, our engineering, most successful team in MCS over the last 8 years.
Yeah, they know exactly what needs to be done and, you know, how to go about touring race production, right? In terms of the car, in terms of the reliability. And
yeah,
also
well, they
the
didn't have much fun with their star car, which was the 44 Civic yesterday. But right, so I think this might be no. It's going to be one more lap with the safety car. But yes, that dark blue car there, that was the car that ruled the roost for many, many years, and they're going to be expecting better. Now, just as an indication, let's have a look at their timings under safety cars. 3 minutes 36. You're talking about an extra minute and 5 seconds. You know, in terms of momentum and motion, that's what can trick the drivers.
This is essentially a very slow warm-up time, right?
Yeah, this is like the wettest race you could have time on the driest. So it really messes with your head.
But I think the drivers themselves, they get into contention.
Wow, it's great to see some, well, that looks like a motorsport club that's come up here. Once again,
the drivers themselves, they get into that mindset that they may be the safety car conditions that come in at any time of the race, and they got to be prepared for that, and, you know, also try and innovate ways to essentially get back on that full speed as soon as the safety car goes off.
It calls for a lot of personal focus if you can do it.
Yeah.
Because these touring cars are not the most reliable cars in motorsport. A lot can drop off them, a lot can happen to them, and you don't want that to happen. I think in yesterday's interview with Johnny Z, you heard that he was saying he needs a bit of luck if
He
he
needs
was
a lot
gonna
of
win.
luck, and he got it.
He got a lot of luck because these cars, as you said, can absolutely fall apart. Marshall's having a good day today. A lot better than yesterday, I can tell you, when they were being called out to various parts of the track.
But if you are a touring car racer, you know, it just sets you up in a whole different mindset. You know, you get on course and then you start off hot and heavy, and then 2 laps later, you know, you got to be in warm-up mode again, and you're not sure when the safety car is going to go off, and then you restart again. Yeah. So it's sort of a stop-start in many ways.
In a car that is essentially pulling you.
Yeah.
You know, if you look at it like a guy taking a dog for a walk, an F1 car is a very controllable dog. This is a dog that's bigger than you, that is running you around the park, and you have to keep hold of it. So to keep onto the racing line, which is clearly defined at the Sepang International Circuit, it takes a lot of doing, no matter what class you're in, whether it's a 2000cc or 1600 that we see in both sections of the race. I say that, I know there's 4 sections, but really it's touring production NTC up front, and it's SP1 and SP2 at the back. So High Road Dream Chaser, watching the screens, waiting for us to get back on green light racing, and that looks like the safety car is about to pull in. You see that little burst of speed from Ayubaz. He's just getting ready. He's got to keep it in the limit. Technically, up to this point here, you're still on the safety car. So now we're back to green light racing. And now we're going to see what these top 3 can do in touring production. So we did actually end up losing another 4 laps for that FCY. So people beginning to adopt racing lines, but they're going to be a little bit careful about this. On a dry track like this, the last thing you want to do is suddenly get onto the gas, but look at what Ayubazi's done. That's exactly what he's done. Already pulling away from Johnny Z. That car has just been faster over the last 2.5 rounds. SP1, SP2 and SP2 V and G coming through turns 1 and 2. Just 2.5 seconds between Mitchell and Hayden Heichel right now. It's good to have that classification breakdown on the other side. So, having a look on the inside, one of the R Engineering cars.
Ayubaz looks almost by himself. Can tell you that he's...
There's a big fight for you. Umar Abdullah and Tawhid Anwar. Well, he's got enough there to take that line. It's absolutely neck and neck now. He's got more than half a car length. That line should be conceded by Tawhid, and he does. That's great driving.
Well done to Umar.
Now he switches to defending, but I do think that he's going faster anyway. In terms of lap times, Ayubaz is now putting in a very fast sector 1. And so we're now going to see how much faster. His last lap on full course yellow was 3:21.652. And we've just heard that Umar Abdullah is actually going to pick up a drive-through penalty. I think that might be for overtaking on the full course yellow. I'm not sure. We're going to have to make sure. Oh, that's a shame. 2:27 already hit. 2:27.119 for Ayubaz, who's just not letting up at all.
It's getting faster.
That's Kenurata on the inside. Just ahead of Hishamunid from Jebon Motorsport. Those were the fans that you saw in the grandstand. Nice take by Kenurata. and he is now, if I'm right, yes, back atop of the SB1 classifications.
This is what you meant yesterday, Jeef. You know, a great attacker, a great defender. This is exactly what we're seeing from him, right?
Yeah, now he's put
Closing
himself
him off.
Now he's put himself in front. It's going to be very difficult for Hischimunin to come through. As you can see, he's trying. He's having a look on the outside. So Ken drifts just a little bit into the middle. Half the car on the racing line and half the car off the racing line.
It's so important to stay in the same line, right? As in to not allow any angles for your attacker to try and exploit gaps.
You see that Honda badge on the front of Ken Hirata's car, right? So imagine the racing line is exactly on that.
Yeah.
Okay, so what he's going to do now as he comes into turn 9 and 10, he's going to shift it to his left light or his right light. And just putting enough space on so that Hischimunin hasn't got enough space to try and get half a car length, because that's the thing. Two cars cannot occupy the same space at the same time. As long as you've got half a car length, racing etiquette means that you have to pull back and concede that line. Ken Hirata is very good at defending because he can make sure you'll only get a third of your car up next to him. He's fine with that. He's fine with having a third on left and right, but he's not fine. Well, that's the ST Wangan team out of Singapore. Ooh, bit of a smash up there. Well, that's going to cost a lot in the body shop. 66. Looking down at our massive grid. That is Lim Yao Huang, who is in the pits now. And of course, the pit window isn't currently open, but that's going to be logged on. Drive-through penalty, I think, being served now by Umar Abdullah. That is a shame, because that is good. That drive-through penalty, when he slows down, when he comes into the pits, slows down, that means he's going to lose that well-taken third spot that he took from Tawid Anwar.
Yeah, so unfortunate. He did really well to overtake Tawid Anwar
Well,
earlier.
unfortunate, but it depends on what he did. We still don't know what he did yet. And if he did overtake and gain some ground and territory, there's that Renault we had an interview with. So far, the left-hand drive car doing very well. It's very interesting to hear about that, and hearing about how the European setup car is trying to deal with Malaysian temperatures. Because here's a story for you. One of my family members actually brought to Malaysia a Fiat that they bought in the UK, and the amount of problems that turned up from having a heating system and not an air conditioning system, and it was really difficult. You couldn't get backup parts. You couldn't get, running service. So to run a European car, a Renault that is, of course, doing very well in the touring car circuit in Europe, but to try it out on Asian circuits, that is impressive. Cars have now slowed down to about 228. Ayub Azli has come into line as we hit lap 7.
But Ayub Azli slowly opening up a small gap on Jonathan Z.
Yeah, both of the front ones are actually.
Yeah.
It's Umar and Tawid Anwar that are still fighting. So I'm assuming that Umar Abdullah has not come in for that drive-through penalty just yet, because that looks like it is still evolving. So Adam Mikhail is topping SP2G right now. That should be Timothy Yeo just behind him. It is, in fact, this is 0.5 of a second between these two, so that is for track position. And that should also be Yukoi Sen. Oh, in fact, no, Yukoi Sen is moved down. Lester Neo is now up into third. That's the battle for first in SP2G. Overall, they are 23rd, 24th, and 25th. That's looking like a bit of trouble. Sometimes you get hit, and it's a very easy replace. You can just unscrew the fender, bolt on a new one.
And off you go.
Sometimes you've got smashed up so badly that some of these engineers are just looking at the car going, where do you start?
Yeah.
And it's on a time limit, obviously. Adam Mikhail again, the 101 car doing very well right now, currently lapping at 2:42.660. So the pit window is now open. I think this might be a standard pit Yep, that's Bay Racing just coming in. So Trey Tan is probably, well, I don't know if that's Justin Toh that's actually got into the car. Or Trey Tan that is going to stay in for a little bit longer, but his stint should be up.
And this pit window is where we could see some strategy being implemented right now. Johnny Z's got to serve that time, and perhaps it gives an opportunity for the likes of Ayub Azli and Kifli Othman to exploit.
Well, it's a 15-minute pit window. So if you look at it in terms of 3 different parts, you've got the first 5 minutes is the early strategy. The second 5 minutes is your middling strategy. That's when a lot of people will come in, and it's when you're expected to come in. It also gives you the most amount of time to think about it and look at what everyone else is doing. The late 5 minutes is the final 5 minutes, where you essentially are committing to an idea that the time that you build up from the first 10 minutes, you're going to convert. You need to have a very quick pit, as in exactly 3 minutes. Remember, the leaders are going to be pitting in with a little extra time onto their window because it's the second race. But if you do come in late, you have to be absolutely on your game, which is the way I would describe this car and this team right now.
Yeah, indeed, slowly opening up almost a 4-second advantage over his closest rival, Johnny Z.
Yep, not coming in just yet. He won't come in with just 4 seconds, I think. That's it. Johnny's way too close right now, but holding his own, and that's Tawadanwa, I'm sure. So while this pit window evolves, let's get down to the pits, where Mio is talking to the Piston Project.
All right, now I'm together with Vera Tay, car driver number 5. She's about to get into her car, but we just want to have a chat with her first. Vera, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, how was your experience yesterday? Granted, it was a wet race.
Yeah, but I'm feeling good because during my race, the track is getting dry. So yeah, I'm feeling good with it.
Okay.
Yes.
And now your partner, Gladys, is actually driving right now. She's about to come in. How do you think she's doing so far?
She's doing good. She's very, very good race driver.
And can you keep up the pace of what Ladies has actually started off?
Yes, I must do it. Yes.
You must do it.
She has faith on me and I must do it.
All right. Do you know that you're I think the only 2 female driver team here for MCS?
Yes, correct.
Right. Just a quick one. What would you say to all our audience out there who would want to take up driving, all the ladies out there, some word of encouragement?
Ladies, if you love motorsports, you want to try it, just do it. Don't hesitate it. Just come into Sepang, just hop into the car and try it. You will definitely love it.
All right,
yeah.
You'll definitely love it. Thank you so much, Vera. Have a good time on the track. Good luck.
Yeah, thank you so
All
much.
right. Just do it, guys.
Thanks a lot, guys, or guy and gal, I should say. Great to have an all-female team up at the MCS. Of course, that is a great initiative that's happening in sports, not just in motorsports around the world. Women's World Cup just recently.
Yeah, exactly.
As well, good to see that representation, and Vera and Gladys are so far running a pretty good race, lapping about 2:48. So they're not pushing for the titles, but they are having a good run out. And what Vera said is true. Do come up. I wouldn't say just hop in a car and get out on track. I'd say get a little bit of guidance maybe from the team manager.
Gotta love her passion though, you know.
Yeah, love it. Hey, that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Ayub Azli still out on track. Hasn't come in for his pit stop just yet. So we will keep you abreast as to who's coming for their pits and who hasn't. And right now, the top 3 or top 4 still out there. But I can tell you some of the SP2Gs and SP2Vs have come in for their pits already.
Actually, if you look at the classifications as of now, the top 7 have yet to come in. So like you mentioned earlier, the 3 parts, right? They've yet to execute the first part. They're just waiting it on, because perhaps also due to the full course yellow, where they didn't need to exert so much of...
It got pushed on a bit.
Yeah.
It got, absolutely. And, you know, yesterday, a lot of people were they were just wondering as to what the weather was going to end up being. It was in the middle of being wet and being dry. So that might change your strategy as well. You might come in a bit early and put in slightly wetter tires. So this is Jason Chow, overall 7th, 3rd in class. And he looks like he's having a right old battle with Jesmond Tan at the moment. Those are 2 R Engineering cars, am I right? No, yes it is. That is Jesmond Tan and Chow Tek Seong. So let's get back down to the pits where Mio is talking to Lee Wai-chong.
All right, guys, I'm here together with car driver 900, Lee Wai-chong. Wai-chong, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you.
All right, so now your partner is now driving. He's about to come in. You're about to jump in. What's the pace like for him? How has he done? And what is your expectation to continue the race for today?
So Rahul has been doing a great job. He's up to P2 now, and we are fighting the Wing Hing's car. The pace looks good as well. So I will try to bring the momentum forward, and hopefully we'll end up on the podium.
And the fact that yesterday, as mentioned, I was talking to all the other drivers. It was a wet race yesterday. A lot of cautious, a lot of, they can't be too gung-ho, too aggressive. But this time around, it's all dry. It's perfect condition. It is great for all drivers, right?
Yes, of course. Today is all full push to the checkered flag after this. So the fastest way to the race.
All right. So again, your expectations, you said that you want to keep the momentum going, wanting to get that podium finish. Can it be a reality to your own personal opinion?
Yes, it is possible. We have been on the podium yesterday, and today is another day to fight again. It's going to be tough with the pit stop penalty.
All right.
We will be there.
All right, cool. Good luck to you, Wai-chong. All right, best of luck. Back to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Mio. Yes, they are doing very well right now. That MTC car, the second high rev Dream Chaser car, looking for a 1-2 in MTC. And Lee Wai-chong about to get in that car. They are running in second. Mitchell Chia is in first. Hayden Heikel is in third. We just got a glimpse of his wonderfully painted Wing Hin Motorsports MTC car. It's the blue and gold car. You just absolutely can't miss it. Wing Hin Motorsports, one of the top distributors in the Malaysian region. And look at that. I was just about to mention that. That was the incident, turn 3. 6 cars involved, and they're going to face their fate after the race. But there was another incident at turn 9 between 2 cars, and that has been deemed as no further action. So it's not all doom and gloom when you do get in trouble. Sometimes it works out.
Yeah,
that it
really
was just
depending on the
decided.
severity
Yeah,
of what
absolutely.
happened, right?
And the other thing I just want to bring up about Lee Wai-chong is you saw how tiny the margin is in terms of shifting the drivers. So they're running in second. Rahul Rajmaya's coming in. You got to get into that car and match his pace. And that's another thing that Ken Urata does really well. And you know, it's been big Ken Urata praise coming this weekend from the commentary
How
box
can we
because
not
he does
praise
it really
him?
well. He doesn't have a partner. He's
Look
solo.
at him, he's still defending, you know.
He never got past. Hishimura never got past.
Yeah.
Whereas Ken has found his way past now. So it is a very difficult prospect when you've got that number 55 car ahead of you. Doing very well. He can win by 5 seconds, 10 seconds, or even half a second. He'll do it as he loves doing it. He can almost drive with one eye on the rearview mirror. He's doing it right now. You see that half line going up through turn 9, turn 10. You just can't get a read in on the inside or the outside because he's moving from apex point to apex point well. And we have another car that is willing to talk to Mio right now. That's the Bay Racing team. Let's get down to the pits.
Okay, guys, I'm now together here with Nick, car number 999. He just came in from the pit stop. How was the condition out there, Nick?
Yeah, very good. Compared to yesterday today is dry. Not like yesterday is raining. So today is more easy to drive. The condition is very good.
All right, and how was the feeling amongst the other drivers? The fact that it is a dry track today, everybody's a little bit more aggressive. You know, it's a bit more challenging. They just wanted to get the best placement. How was it for you just now?
Yeah, I'm just enjoying my game. Yeah, just because this is my third time for this MCS. Yeah, I'm getting more experience. Yeah, so far it's like it.
Yeah, definitely experience is key. The more practice that you have on the circuit is definitely going to give you a bit of an advantage. But this is round 3, race number 2. How do you think your partner will do after you passed off for him on the track now?
Wish him best. So I think he can do better than for like training today because the condition is good. Then also everyone's exciting because this round 3 is more car than previous. Yeah.
And what about your car condition? We've seen some malfunctions, some problems that we had from other cars. How was your car performing today?
No, my car is in good conditions, nothing problem. Yeah.
All right, good. So hope for you to get the best place possible, and good luck to you.
Thank you.
All right, cheers, Nick. Guys.
Thanks a lot, mate. That was great to hear from Nick, and as you can see, no considerable significant problems for the races here on this beautiful sunny morning up at the Sepang International Circuit. If you have just joined us, this is the Malaysia Championship Series 2023, round 3, race 2, and that confusion in the pit means that the pit window, in fact, should or is just about to close. So people coming in for that late strategy will be coming in right now.
Yeah, pretty much everyone is already come in except for the car number 29, which is the combination of Imran Wafi
yeah,
and Lee
that's
Kam
right.
Soon. The rest of the top tier drivers as of now, they have all come in for their pits. And it was so interesting to hear what Nick said earlier about the driving conditions, because here we are looking at it thinking it's absolutely clear, and he's just confirmed it, and it reflects so much in the best lap times as well.
That's one thing I've noticed over the last 8 years. You get to see the margins that change with the weather. So even though you see the weather, as you said, it's raining or it's not, but the actual transference of that onto the lap times is unbelievable. I mean, you're talking 7-8 seconds faster. We should be up to at least, I'm guessing, oh, well, we're in the pit stop area now, but the best we've seen so far is a 2:27.119. Best we saw yesterday was a 2:33. Now, coming back onto track, that is the car of the moment, that red and green car. Look at all that brake smoke coming off there. Burning up on that track. That's the car, that's the one that set the 2:27.119, and so far on its way to another dominating performance.
Wow, and that's a pretty quick stop by Ayub Azli and Kifli Othman. And could we have witnessed the change now? Perhaps Kifli on the second leg of this
it will
drive?
be. It'll definitely be Kifli coming out now, and Kifli's going to love these conditions. He's one of the fastest drivers historically at Sepang, and especially in the dry. There are a couple of drivers, 2 or 3 I can think of, Mark Darwin, Kifli Othman, Boy Wong. Drivers like this absolutely love putting it down. So he's in the car now, he's up at turn 5, and he has a pretty good buffer. It'll take a couple of laps after this for the standings to come through. That's Mitchell Chia with his lights flashing, even though it is only 10 o'clock in the morning. Mitchell Chia coming out right now, so this is a good spot as Kifli gets into his attack
we
run.
saw this in the second race as well when
he was a bit slower in the oh, you're talking about the
the
round
previous
2,
one
round
when
2.
he came in and they did really well, because Kifli is always the second half of the combination, right?
So now we can get down to the pits, and a great person to talk to. It is it's Yokohama's national sales manager, and he is with Mio.
All right, guys, we have a special treat for you guys. We have together with us Kian Kiat, who is the national sales manager from the Yokohama Tire Sales Malaysia. We're so grateful, Kian Kiat, for you guys to be together with us, MCS, supporting us from Yokohama's point of view.
Thank you so much. We are very happy to be here in MCS. We are also very thankful to SIC for giving us the opportunity to be here.
All right, so one thing that I bet a lot of our viewers will want to know, the type of tires that's being used for all the cars, is it same across the board or is it different for each classification?
Okay, basically we are using the A050, which is the Yokohama semi-slick tires. This is for the TP and also the SP1. While we are also using the 8009 Advanced Nova for the SP2 and also MTC.
All right, so there are different tires for different class, but ultimately these are the tires that's being used for all the drivers out there by Yokohama. And how has the performance been in regards of the tires quality and track record, and how has it been for Sepang circuit?
These tires are really, really up to, they are great for these races. And I think up to now, I think we have been clocking very, very good lap times over in Sepang.
All right, lovely. Thank you so much, KK, for being together with us. Yokohama, back to you guys.
Well, that was great to get an insight into some of the treads that these cars are using. Look at that, Nick. That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And that's another big blowout. Looks like an engine blowout. And I'm just checking now as to who that is. That's Hukoi Sen that is out. And Hukoi Sen on lap 13 is our first real DNF. This has been a very well-marshaled weekend in terms of the drivers. That's the first blowout that we've seen. We've seen a couple of knocks, a couple of scrapes, but nothing that you need to go to intensive care in terms of car repair, just a couple of cosmetic changes. So we've probably got 18 minutes left, lapping at these times on these Yokohama tires, 2:30, so roughly about another 8 laps.
He's absolutely right about the Yokohama tires, though. You know, they've been absolutely excellent, and you can see it in the lap times.
So, Kifli Hoffmann now in a much better position than he was yesterday, because this car, I think, is responding a lot better. It is currently, well, you know, he's actually not.
Kifli's actually in 6th place.
Yeah, he's not in the lead right now at all.
Yeah, because he just came off the pit.
Yeah, he's just come out from his outlap. The top 5 have also come out on that lap, so I did say that it's going to take a couple of laps for these classifications to settle themselves down. He's doing very well through that pile of back markers, though. He's just coming through some SP2 G and V cars. And a big crowd as well. And look who's chasing him down. That's Tawid Anwar, still out. Good to see that car responding a bit better today than it did yesterday. They corrected the steering problem. And this can be difficult because you're still defending and attacking, but you have to get through all of these other cars as well. And if you get through slower than the person chasing you, then, well, you know what's going to happen there.
This is a very crucial stage, right? Because a lot of the cars are actually coming out from their pits, and like you mentioned, getting crowded.
Yes.
And it's all about getting back to your original position and maintaining it after that.
Yeah, you can just see that Tawid Anwar trying to weave his way through so that he can really focus on the attack. And that is confirmation of 1 and 2 right now. Lapping at 2:31. Oh, that's Ken Urata. Oh no. Ken Urata.
You see fire coming off the exhaust there.
You know what? It actually looks like he may have made a mistake. Let's have a look at this. There he is in the middle. And I don't know. You know what? I think that might have actually been him. He might have braked a bit too early coming into that corner, or he may have been touched at the back. But either way, he's got himself started up and he's back doing it. So we will allow Ken Urata one mistake every weekend. Apart from that, it's almost like having a robot driver, isn't it?
Well, the most important thing is that he's back on track.
That's
it's just a small glitch.
I said, that's what you want your driver to do. You don't want him to overcommit and end up in the gravel or up against the wall. The car is still performing well. He was lucky on that turn 15 that he didn't get hit by anybody else, because he was in a big group of cars, but back in attendance, and surely he would have lost the lead. Yes, he's now 6th in SB1. So
I was just about to say, Jeev, there was two drivers that had been maintaining their first position. One was Kanurata, the other one was Mitchell Chia. Well, Mitchell is still first in his category, which is the MC.
So that's the big strategy that he's
Kanurata was in prime position until that small glitch, but I expect him to move his way up. I mean, of course, he's lost a bit of ground, but we still do have another 14 minutes plus.
Well, it's another full course yellow.
This has got to throw a spanner in the works again.
This is now the business end of this race, so it is really going to throw a spanner in the works. It means it's going to be a pretty spectacular finish. So lap 15, you get our second full course yellow. And I'm sure that's because of the big spin at turn 15. There hasn't been any real incident, but they're going to have to check to see if anything was left.
Yeah, any debris from Urata's rear, right?
This is the part of the race where everybody is looking to put in really, really fast laps. So it's better, and it's in everybody's best interest to try and make sure that this is the safest possible track. But also, it means the cars are going to get bunched up, and it's not like they're staggered off and left when we come off this full course yellow. There's going to be a mad dash for the finish line, and it's going to be those three up the front.
Kifli Othman would be feeling a little bit hard done by, because he had just taken the lead. He got back into prime position. He was ready to basically take this home, and now we have a full course yellow.
Okay, so we're going to take a break now. We'll be back in just a second. Don't go anywhere.
Yokohama.
Nerves of steel needed in sizzling conditions. It's time to seize the moment in Sepang. It's time to race in MotoGP.
Yokohama.
The biggest race of 2022 is here as we get set fully for Patronus Grand Prix in Malaysia. And look at Banyaya. He's up to second. Close off. Back at Banyaya. Up into second place. Fabio Quartararo clinging on to that third place. How close was that?
To all my fans, this year is our year. Come down to Sepang this November. It's time for Malaysian GP. Malaysia. 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 Jom ke Sepang, kasih gegar.
Welcome back to
man.
Talk about starting with a headline. I was just about to intro. That is Kifli Othman And that car is not going anywhere. That was the race leader. It was the car that just put in a 2:29.865. Its last lap was 4:24, and what a tragedy. But Tawhid Anwar is going to be laughing in that car.
How things can change in a split second. We saw a full course yellow, we went to commercial, we came back, we saw a still leader.
Yeah, I said it's another full course yellow, or it's the same full course yellow that we're coming back on, but Kifli Othman's car did not. That 50, well, that is so significant for the rest of this race. There's 9 minutes left in this race.
Well, it changes the dynamics quite significantly, does it? So now we have Anwar Avik, Tawhid Anwar, Jonathan Z. It puts Jonathan Z back in contention.
Tawhid Anwar and Jonathan Z. Look at the amount of oil that these guys are dealing with on that corner. Is that turn 15? Wow, that is huge. Now, there has been a huge incident somewhere along there. I'm assuming it's been during this full course yellow as well, which is why it's being extended a little bit. Now, that car's gone. But I will finish my intro. Welcome back to the Malaysia Championship Series. It is literally the business end of the race. 8 minutes left. And if we stay on full course yellow, that could mean, well, even if we came off full course yellow right now, that's a maximum of 4 laps left in this race. If we stay on for another 2 laps, then it's going to be a 2-lap dash for all of these guys in the 4 classes. And while we've got the time, I'll just go through that. So Anwar Avik and Jonathan Z. Anwar Avik is Tawhid Anwar, of course. They are now leading with that shock. I'm going to have to write that down. On lap 15, it's a shock retirement. While we come through, remember, get onto the website, www.sepangcircuit.com, and do check out the Petronas Grand Prix of Malaysia tickets 2023. Couple of categories have sold out, Premier Seat and the Marc Marquez Tribune, but the rest of them are selling very, very fast. You want to get here because that is an experience in itself. Did you go to the MotoGP?
Yeah, I was here for the last one, and it was absolutely a magnificent race, right? Peko Bagnaia didn't end up winning. He won 2 races later, but it was still a magnificent race.
And one other thing you can do up here as well, you can get your own car up here and check out this FIA Grade 1 circuit. Fulfill your need for speed. Book it online at the www.sepangcircuit.com. Lots of things on that official website, not just updates on all the championships that happen around here, but some of the other initiatives as well. And if you want to find follow-ups on initiatives that may have happened in the past but haven't happened again, like cycling days, things like that, and that's the website, www.sepangcircuit.com, to check out. So, looks like the safety car is coming in. They're speeding up again. And, well, from this point on, that 44 car is going to win this race.
Yeah, I've got
simple as that.
Another 5 laps to go.
Johnny Z is not going to catch that car with roughly 3 laps is what
he's
we've
opened
got.
up quite a healthy lead, hasn't he?
Well, that's how the cookie crumbles, as they say. And for Tawhid Anwar, after having shockingly bad luck on turn 1 in yesterday's race, is going to get a bit of redemption now in race 2 and get 15 points. This really does set up, you couldn't write it really, it really does set up the, hold on a minute, I just saw a big puff of smoke, and it's Umar Abdullah that spun out in turn 1. Oh, it's all happening now. That was a dangerous place for him to spin out. There's the smoke I was talking about, and his car is right there, and it's being battered left and right. He's taking it off the racing line. Wow, Umar Abdullah, look at that, back wheel is gone. Just about managing to get off track. Achievement in itself to get that there.
An incident-filled race for Umar Abdullah today.
Yep, he had a drive-through penalty. It's all happening on that's lap 17. Well, he's managed to get the car out. He had a drive-through penalty earlier. Looks like he's been clipped there. That didn't look like it was his fault at all. So, You can take that number 3 car on the left side of your screen out because it's no longer there. That means that, let me just, Imran Wafi is now going to go up to 3rd in touring production, even though he's 5th overall. And with 4 minutes left on the clock, let's just have a look at the overall classifications because they have changed so much. Tawid Anwar, Jonathan Z, and Imran Wafi in the top
we have
3
another car
for touring production. It's another car that stopped. Well, they're dropping like flies. I'll try and get a read on that. Chatek Seong is currently leading SB1 ahead of Hishamuddin and Pisao Fan, or will it be Baron Sim in that car now. Mitchell Chia is still leading and looking for a double win in MTC.
Oh, there we go. He just spun and then stalled. He's still trying to get a number on that vehicle.
I said we'll just have to check at the bottom.
Setback.
There's a lot of cars now that are racking up at the bottom of our classifications. If there's a question mark there, then that's one of the cars that is currently not registering its transponder. So just continuing on the classifications as we get closer to the last lap.
And that was Nico Civelli from Excel Sport.
So Mitchell Chia, the Nabil Aslan, and Lee Wai Chong in the top 3 in MTC. SB2G, it is Neo, it's Lester Neo for TD Racing, Adam Mikhail and Ng Chong Ching. For SB2V, it is Mohamed Najib from Estrada Motorsport, Mohamed Hasif, and that was actually the 3rd car in SB2V, Nico Civelli, that is now out. So things have changed as we get to the closer to the last lap. Jason Chow, Chaotek Seong.
It has been an incident field race despite clear skies and dry tracks.
Well,
we have seen so many things unfold.
You really get to push your car to the max when it's this sunny, and there are certain cars like this one, the number 44 car, that can handle being at that speed for 20 laps. The other cars have been pushed. Remember, it's a hotter day. It's rapidly heating up now as we get to about 10:30 in the morning.
Yeah, speaking of Tawid Anwar, he's just slowly pulling away.
That's another one. It's big contact. Now, that really was Chatek Seong's fault. That was Jason Chow's fault. He's waving his finger out the back, but just got cut in. They're having a huge battle.
And he's gone off course.
He has gone off course. And they may have hit his steering. So that was the SP1 top 2. Just not really respecting each other when it comes through turn 9 and 10.
I think it's all the frustration of, being in full course yellow and waiting to come out and go full throttle.
Well, look at this. Johnny Z is putting in a bit of a charge on the last lap. That's him that is chasing Tawid Anwar. That is 4 positions, so there's only 2 seconds between them.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, he's shaved off over 2 seconds. Wow, that's immense driving from Johnny Z in the last lap.
Question is, we have to now see if he's not going to do it on the last lap, I don't think, but it might be, depending on how much he put that last lap in. He was 1 second faster, and he was 2 seconds back, so.
Well, what I can say is that Johnny Z looks to have solidified his position in 2nd place.
So looking at this now, let's have a look at it. So that is Jason Chow on the inside. Yeah, he shouldn't have cut back in. He shouldn't have cut back in. That
really
was
ram onto the tire.
That is going to be investigated because, and then of course he comes through anyway, the our engineering car, and his Shamuddin has got some steering problem and looks like he might now be out as well. But that was not good behavior to cut across the car.
Indeed.
When he's coming in on the outside. It is very questionable as to whether he had half a car length on that racing line. Very, very questionable. Meanwhile, a gifted win for Tawid Anwar puts him back in contention for round 4, which is going to be on September the 22nd. But Lai Wei Sing and R Engineering are going to be very happy with the reliability of this car. But as I said, if this car is in this position with 5 laps to go, it's won, because that's what it was doing for about 2 years. This was the only thing I saw on screen.
If I'm not mistaken,
So
if
smooth.
once Tawhid Anwar crosses the line as champion, it will be his 8th podium.
Should be. Yeah,
And
something
he
like
has
that.
already won this
I
season.
will, yeah, I'll let
in
you.
round 2.
I'll let you be the statistician for that. So this is going to be the checkered flag. And look how close Johnny Z is now. That's pretty much. We've seen closer than that finishes. Great shout from Johnny Z. Absolutely.
I mean, it's a brilliant late
great
charge.
shout.
You know, we didn't see him trailing this close. Now he's in the periphery of
Oh,
Tawhid Anwar, and
so
he's really
close.
putting a late charge.
So in the end, I want to see exactly what. Wow, I got
So
to get a
Tawhid
read on
Anwar
it.
has just won it by more than a second.
Less than a second. That was less than a second, I think. But they've come through, yes, as the top 2. In the end, I can tell you, it was 1.15 seconds between them.
And it was, what, over 4 seconds, I think, just the second last lap.
Yeah,
So we
he
saw
was
Johnny
lapping
Z
a full
really
second
making a
faster.
good
He was
charge.
lapping a full second faster for the last 2 laps, and he was 2 seconds back. So if you'd given him one more lap,
exactly,
he would have come through. Now,
Still, 27 points is a great takeaway from this weekend.
Mitchell Chia coming through to take his double win. Brilliant from him. So Hayden Heichel did end up seeing him ahead of himself as opposed to behind him. Good double for him. No double win for Alex Young this time. It's going to be Estrada Motorsport that takes SP2V and Lester Neo that takes SP2G. So finishes coming in, as I like to say, all over the shop. And it's because it was a hot day that we've seen more DNFs, because these cars were pushed to the limit. And yesterday, they weren't pushed in terms of engine limits because you just couldn't go faster. You know, it's not just having a 227 lap. That car is going around that track faster. And if everybody, and if you look down at the best laps, there are basically only 2 cars that beat 230. There are about 10 cars that beat 240.
Yeah.
And that's the general average pace of the race. But congratulations to R Engineering and that 44 car, which has come through, helped a little by the retirement. I was fully expecting that number 50 City Racing car to come powering through again. It really looked that way, but well, second half of the race in race 1 looked a bit slower. Second half of the race in race 2 stopped altogether.
Tawhid Anwar did win the race, but he posted only the second best lap. The fastest lap was actually posted by Johnny Z, 227.
Yep, that's right. I did say 227
I think that was the second last lap when he made that late charge.
I think so, but I did think 226, 227 is what we get in these conditions, and you can get even faster than that. If this was in the morning race, your track temperature isn't as high as it can be, but if you race at noon and you race about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, then you can hit 224s, 225s, but only 3 or 4 drivers are capable of
I've been
doing
so accustomed to see this high ref car number 100 winning as champion.
Most successful teams in the Malaysia Championship Series over the last 5 years, High Rev Dream Chaser for one, R Engineering definitely in touring production. You've got R Works, Rios. There are a lot of teams that have made a decent 24 motors. That is Tawhid Anwar, the Bangladeshi driver, with another win. And he's got this win from being reliable. Stuck in the race well.
Well, during the second round, he actually came into the commentary box and he was talking to us and said how many races that he's competed in this year. I think it's over 20 races.
Yeah, but he
so he's
works
been on the track a lot, and he's really got that experience. And
at different
I think-
levels as well.
Yeah, at different levels as well. Different competitions, at different climates all over Asia.
Fully
Pacific, right?
international driver, has driven in the UAE Pro Car Championships. Johnny Z, a little bit more muted today, happy with second, even though one more lap, and he could have won that.
Indeed.
So cars now in Parc Fermé, it's a very familiar situation as they're about to go and get scrutinized, and the top drivers are going to make their way up to the podium. And we should have the full classification and official results coming your way very, very soon. And here they are, in fact. So, looking at touring production, it's Tawad Anwar that has, I'm going to say, been gifted a race here. Should have been second. Jonathan Z just 1.1 second behind. Imran Wafi in third. Shazul Isham with a fourth to add to his second. Umar Abdullah and Avan Abdullah in fifth. And that means our sixth place is going to be for Ayub Azli and Kifli Othman, who are leaders.
And in the SP1 race, we have Jason Chiao in first place, followed by P. Sao Fan. Lim Jin Guang makes up the top three. Kanurata, with that setback, sees him finish in fourth, followed by Chun Tek Ho, Hishamuddin in sixth, Azi Omar, Iskandar Mohamad in seventh, and Jasmine Tan completes the classification.
Good race for SP1 all in all, but no double win for Kanurata. So we've seen Kanurata out. We've seen Ayub Azli out. And looking at MTC, there they are again, plus just 3 seconds between them. Mitchell Chan and Hayden Heikel in the top two. Arslan Brothers in third. Lee Wai Chong, Leon Koo, Go Li Heng up to sixth. Vera and Gladys in seventh. That's a good position for them. Danny Chin and Hugh Koi Sen up to ninth.
And the SP2G is claimed by Lester Neo and Xiao Tungwei. Timothy and Thomas Yeo takes a run-up position, followed by Wong Yu Chong, Chi Wei Leng, who finishes on the podium. Liu Kawai in fourth, Nick Zi, Lau Kian Heng in fifth, Ian Wong, Lau Jen Kut, Leong Jia Le Kent, Ng John Chin, and Kenneth Tay completes the top 10. And followed by Ayman Haziq in 11th, Adam Mikal in 12th, Lim Guan Yu, Yip Kan Heng, Lim Yao Huang, and Ong Wai Kong in 16th.
So that's SP2G, and that means SP2V is what's left. And a great win for Najib Ismail, Mohammed Hasif in second, Jason Hu in third, Nico Sivani makes it to fourth, Alex Young and Daniel Ui finish in fifth, so good Axel Sports. Fourth and fifth. Takashi Oi, Trey Tan, Alan Tia, Sochi Chong, and Ronnie Rossman take us up to 10th. There should be more in that classification. Stuart Hine in 11th and Shafiq Shamsuddin in 12th. Well, what a race it has been here. It was sunny morning, sunny day. Let's look back at it. It was a great start from, well, we thought anyway, from both sets of cars, touring production and MTC, followed by the SP1 and SP2. But in the end, a little clip at turn 3 meant there was another full course yellow for the first 4 laps. And when it got back to racing, after a few scrapes, we did see some very fast lap times turning up in pretty much all of the classifications. And it was this car, that number 50 car, that looked again like it was going to be absolutely dominating. And that looks like Mohammed Hishamuddin. Turn 9 and turn 10, always busy. That was a big fight between Mitchell Chia and Hayden Heikel that continued on from that first race yesterday. And there were battles all over the place before this huge engine blowout. That was just at the end of the full course yellow, I remember. And as we got back to racing again, it was Kifli Othman this time behind the wheel. And he was doing extremely well, though he was trailed by Tawid Anwar, who was just in the end lurking in that position. this would keep going. This big spin out from Ken Urata at turn 15 looked dangerous, but it would lead to the big shock retirements of not only that number 50 car, but also Umar Abdullah, and then they were dropping like flies near the end of this. Was about 5 minutes before the end of the race, and cars all over the track, but it was good reliability from that Honda Civic FD2R. Reeled in a little bit. This was a little contact at turn 8 and turn 9 in SP1, which did bring out a finger. And Hishamuddin would retire shortly after that. But they waited their ground and they came through our engineering with that number 44 car. And it's a good 15 points for them. That's Chow Tek Seong, Jason Chow coming through for the SP1 win. That's Mitchell Chia coming through for the MTC win. And at SP2V, it was Mohammed Najib. But all in all, good day's work for our engineering. So we're taking a break now. Do stay with us on the official live stream of the Sepang International Circuit.
It is hot down here in the pit lanes. It's definitely going to be hotter out there on the track. Ladies and gents, we are back. Welcome back at the Malaysia Championship Series down here.
And the Malaysia Championship Series 2021 season is a go. You can hear those engines screaming their way. Driver all there's some contact at turn 15. We said there might be some action at turn 15. Wow, that's a double overtake. This is some huge stuff to kick off.
Nerves of steel needed in sizzling conditions. It's time to seize the moment in Sepang. It's time to race in MotoGP.
Yokohama.
The biggest race of 2022 is here as we get set fully for trying this Grand Prix in Malaysia. And look at Banyaya. He's up to second. Close off. Look at Banyaya up into second place. Fabio Quartararo clinging on to that third place. How close was that?
To all my fans, this year is our year. Come down to Sepang this November. Time for Malaysian GP. Malaysia. 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 Jom ke Sepang, kasih gegar.
Welcome to the Sepang International Circuit for the Petronas Grand Prix of Malaysia 2022.
Tamai, okay? 3, 2, 1, team capture, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations to Ayumu as well as Damo.
It is race day today, in which we will witness all of the excitement that is happening or that will be happening on the tracks here for MotoGP, Moto2 as well as Moto3.
MotoGP first arrived at the stunning Sepang circuit in 1999, and since then we've had 14 world champions crowned at this magnificent Malaysian track.
And we are go in Sepang, and just like yesterday, and it looks as though the Malaysian has done it. Here comes Pratama, he's not close enough. It's victory for Hakim Danis.
Set to go here then in our first Malaysian Grand Prix in 3 years, and we are underway in Moto3. Superb launch in the middle of that front row. Sasaki on the inside of John McPhee. Sergio Garcia's good on the brakes in the turn 15, but not that good. McPhee pinches the inside line, and has he taken the victory here in Malaysia? It's going to be all about the run to the finish line. John McPhee on course for an incredible victory. McPhee will take it. The Flying Scotsman wins another sensational race in Sepang.
Sudah tentu saya bersedia untuk full season. So doakan saya semoga berjaya dan semoga dapat poin yang saya nakkan.
Moto2 Grand Prix in Malaysia, and we are go. Brilliant launch, the dream launch on pole then. On the front 10, you can hear the crowd. Oh, he's got that! Can you believe it? Oh my goodness!
First sekali memang perasaan tu cakap tu memang best lah, memang gembira kan. Kita dapat berlumba di halaman sendiri dan juga dalam race orang cakap tu World Championship punya race.
Is go! Great start from pole position, electric start from Jorge Martin. Hard on the brakes, the pair of them go, they both snake sideways. And Bastianini, a little bit like he done the last lap in Mazzano, almost. Pecco Bagnaia then is on course for victory here in the Malaysian Grand Prix, but the World Championship will roll on into Valencia in 2 weeks' time. Bagnaia is your winner here.
Alhamdulillah, syukur kepada ilahi kerana event Petronas Grand Prix Malaysia pada tahun ini telah berlangsung dengan sukses sekali. Ramai peminat-peminat yang datang di seluruh pelosok dunia, terutamanya rakyat Malaysia yang datang pada hujung minggu ini untuk meriahkan lagi event Petronas Grand Prix Malaysia pada tahun ini, dan saya amat-amat berterima kasih kepada semua yang hadir untuk memberi sokongan pada kami.
Yokohama.
It's time to race. Go! Great start from pole position. Electric start from Jorge Martin. And look at Bagnaia. He's up to second. Start back at Bagnaia on the inside of Marc Marquez. Up into second place. The dream start. The fairy tale first two corners. He's second.
To all my fans, this is our year. Come down to Sepang this November. It's time for Malaysian GP. Malaysia. 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 Jom ku Sepang, kasih gugar.
Yokohama.
The biggest race of 2022 is here as we get set fully for China's Grand Prix of Malaysia. And look at Banyaya. He's up to second. Close off. Back at Banyaya. Up into second place. Fabio Quartararo clinging on to that third place. How close was that?
To all my fans, this is our year. Countdown in November to Sepang. It's time for Malaysian GP. Malaysia, 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 Malaysia. Jom kar Sepang, karsi gagar.
Yokohama.
The biggest race of 2022 is here as we get set fully for China's Grand Prix of Malaysia. And look at Banyaya. He's up to second. Close off. Back at Banyaya. Up into second place. Fabio Quartararo clinging on to that third place. How close was that?
Hello to all my fans. This is our year. Come down to Sepang this November. It's time for Malaysian GP. Malaysia, 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 Malaysia. Jom kur Sepang, kasih gugar.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for the podium ceremony for the Malaysia Championship Series 2023, Round 3, Race 2. We will kick things off with the Touring Production category. Let's all welcome the winners to the podium. In third place, car number 29, Imran Wafi Anan and Lee Kum Soon.
So starting off with touring production, and it's good from Imran Wafi. Nice, solid race.
In second place, car number 17 from Scuba Race Team, Jonathan Z.
Oh, Nick, how different it could have been. One more lap.
One more lap.
And
But
it could have been one more step.
he still takes credit for posting the fastest lap.
Yeah, that's true.
27 points, not too bad at all.
The Touring Production category, car number
looking very happy. Tao Nanwa takes his second win of the season.
The trophies to all our winners. We'd like to invite Ms. Sayuri Kobata, General Manager of Yokohama Asia, to hand the trophies to all our winners.
So VIPs on hand as always to dish out the glittering stuff.
May we get the presenter together with the winners for a photo op straight to the podium.
Photo ops as you'd expect.
All right, thank you. Thank you to our presenter and congratulations to all the winners. Once again, congratulations to all the winners for the touring production category. Moving on, now for the Malaysian touring car category.
So MTC up next.
In third place, car number 38 from Wiggy Motorsport, Muhammad Nakir Noor and Muhammad Nabil Noor.
And it's the ever popular now Aslan brothers.
In second place, car number 39 from Wiggy Motorsport, Aiden Haikal.
Well, they were just talking earlier on about their ongoing rivalry, and there they both were, Hayden and Mitchell. Hayden again settling for second.
Maybe the next time. He's got another round.
And S1K, let's not forget.
And S1K.
You could actually have a program all year round of just those two racing each other and see what the ultimate difference is.
Ms. Sayuri Kobata, General Manager of Yokohama Asia, to hand over the trophies to all our winners.
Trophies and of course bragging rights. That's what it's really about when it comes to these things. The photo op for MTC.
All right, thank you so much, Ms. Sayuri Kobata, and congratulations to all the winners.
And that, of course, leaves two other categories to come, and it should be SP2G up next.
Moving on, ladies and gents, now it's time for the S Production 1 category. Please welcome all the winners to the podium. In third place, car number 95 from Scuba Race Team, Lim Jin Guang. In second place, car number 46, DW Motorsport, And now we would like to invite Puan Zuraifa Muhammad, Head of Project Management, Sepang International Circuit, to hand the trophy to our third place winner. And now we would like to invite Puan Nuruhuda Hamid, Head of Finance, Sepang International Circuit, to hand the trophy to our second place winners.
Well, VIP's still on hand.
And
Handing
now
out
let's
these
bring
brilliant
up
new,
Ms.
newly
Juliana
designed trophies.
Christine Khalid, Head of Event and Sponsorships, to present the trophy to our first place winner. Thank you, presenters. Please remain at the podium for a photo op. Thank you, presenters, and congratulations to all the winners. Congrats once again, gentlemen. Moving forward is the S Production 2G category.
So up to SP2G now.
Number 268, Yu Chung and Wei Ling. In second place, car number 17 from Bay Racing Team, Timothy Thomas Yo. And the winner for the SP2G category, car number 53 from TV Racing, Niu Zheming and Xiao Zhongwei. And once again, we would like to invite Puan Zuraifa Muhammad, Head of Project Management, Sepang International Circuit, to hand the trophies to our third place winners. And now we would like to invite Puan Nuruhuda Hamid, Head of Finance, Sepang International Circuit, to hand the trophies to our second place winners. And now we would like to invite Ms. Juliana Christine Khalid, Head of Event and Sponsorship, to present the trophies to our first place winners. And once again, a photo op together with the winners and the presenters. Thank you, presenters, and congratulations to all the winners.
Pasti ni tu lah. Dua kategori je. Ya. Dua kategori. 4 biji.
And finally, the trophy presentation for the SP2V category. In third place,
SP2V still to come.
number 117 from Scuba Race Team, Wu Jianli.
Another young racer who is making his way into his career with a good start here at MCS.
Car number 69, Estrada Motorsport, Muhammad Najib and Firdaus.
And a good win for Najib and Firdaus.
And now, once again, we would like to invite one supervisor Muhammad, head of project management, Sepang International Circuit, to hand the trophy to our third place winner. And now we would like to invite Puan Nurul Huda Hamid, head finance, Sepang International Circuit, to hand the trophy to our second place winner. And last but certainly not the very least, we would like to invite Ms. Juliana Christine Khaled, Head of Event and Sponsorship, to present the trophies to our winners. And now, as always, for the final time, this time, a photo with the winners and the presenters.
And that brings us to the end of our broadcast here for the Malaysia Championship Series 2023 Round 3 Race 2. Thanks for joining us. Do join us again for the final round, which is going to be in September, the 22nd to 24th weekend. Right now, you guys have an absolutely fantastic weekend. Goodbye.
Down here in the pit lanes, it's definitely going to be hotter out there on the track. Ladies and gents, we are back. Welcome back at the Malaysia Championship Series down here.
And the Malaysia Championship Series 2021 season is a go. You can hear those engines screaming their way. Drive all lesson contact at turn 15. We said there might be some action at turn 15. Wow, that's a double overtake. This is some huge stuff to kick off